What is up, everybody? This is Alex from IHE TV. You know what? I've got a little bit of a different one here for you. I want to go through my special playlist. It's just called Work, with a poor woman. Head slammed on the desk. This is kind of I've been working on this playlist for ages. I just put it on when I'm doing anything that can't be too distracting. You know, if I'm editing something. I find that it's quite good for anything creative, if you're drawing, if you're trying to think of things, because it's, yeah, as the description says, mostly non-intrusive instrumentals. Instrumentals are my jam. And there are some slightly selfish motivations for this video, because I want to be spoken to, be informed by other instrumental fans out there who can help me grow this playlist. Not that it needs growing. It's nearly 100 hours long, so you could play it for days and not hear a repeat. If Spotify's shuffle function wasn't trash, with nearly 1,600 songs here. It is a public playlist. You can see a few people have saved it there. I'll put a link to it in the description if you want to have a little look at it or take songs here and there for your own stuff. But I'm going to go through some of this. It's so long, I'll see what kind of energy I can maintain. But yeah, I guess it's filtered by date added right now, so it was just kind of whatever I could come up with or think of. Yeah, lots of this. I'm so bad with genres. I like synthy electronic stuff. Home, who haven't released anything in ages now. But everyone knows Resonance. It is a really great song. I'd be surprised if you didn't already know that one, but all these albums are pretty great for background noise, toe tapping rhythms and sounds. I really wish I wish this was more kind of like TikTok, where I could just play these songs and not get copyright claimed, but most of these will just get me dinged instantly and the video will be taken down. So again, just use the link in the description if you want to play any yourself. This is kind of an interesting album. I'll skip some of these if they come on, but this is more of like a meditation, mindfulness album. I think I've recommended it before, especially this first song, Waitlist Part 1. I've kind of listened to this to death at this point, so I don't really listen to it as much anymore, but extremely relaxing, that's for sure. It kind of puts you in that chill zone. Yeah, got to get to the Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross stuff. Don't really care about the movie Patriots Day, but I liked this track from it. Yeah, obviously the Social Network in there, Gone Girl. They're good at making scary sounds sometimes, but obviously I left out the scarier ones. I filtered through the ones that are better for focus. Gotta have Brian Eno in there. He's the GOAT. Brian Eno is the GOAT. Honestly, there are so many tracks of his, so many albums of his, and he's so prolific. I'm almost intimidated that there's plenty of stuff I found that should be in here somewhere, but I'm kind of scared to go through the whole discography, is that what you call it? In the same way I've done for Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Or C418, C418, how do you say it? Minecraft guy. I know Minecraft is like a meme in that movie and everything, but this music is so good. It's almost as meditative as that meditation music I was getting at earlier. Like, it's on par. They're thoughtful. They move around in these weird, unexpected ways, have these great sounds and melodies. Yeah, I've got volume alpha, beta in there, and I'm pretty sure there should be, at least at some point, some of C418. What do you say? Who cares? It really doesn't matter. The stuff that isn't from Minecraft that he's made is also great. I've got a couple of Skyrim tracks in here. I know the guy is a monster or whatever, but I've got an emotional attachment to the feelings that come especially when I hear Secunda. Skyrim Atmospheres won't be for everybody. You can see it's a 42-minute long track. This one is great for when I'm struggling to go to sleep. Very peaceful. Here's some more Brian Eno. Disaster Piece. Yeah, there should be lots of him in here, more kind of heavy synthy stuff. This is from Fez, a game I've never actually finished, but I like the aesthetic of. But what really stood out to me was the music. I have played tracks from it around people that weren't familiar with it, and they found it a bit scary. So, well, not quite as scary as It Follows, also by Disaster Piece. I just love that palette of sounds. It's so unusual. It sounds new yet old at the same time. Gotta have some of that original Blade Runner in there. This is a random one. There will be just random sprinklings of just something I found or was recommended by someone. Let me just double check. This one might have vocals, actually. Yeah. This is one of the few that has vocals, but really relaxing. Mac Quail, lots of the Mr. Robot music is, yeah, it's extremely similar to Trent and Atticus, but goes hard. Yeah, obviously you got some 9 Inch Nails tracks in here that should be instrumental. Oh, it's annoying when this happens, when they just take things out. I guess because of licensing or something. Ghost has loads of great instrumentals in it when they're not too scary. Yeah, you can see it kind of lots and lots and lots of Trent in here. Bit of a fanboy. Moss of Aura is quite good. One of the band members of Future Islands. Not sure if he's released anything on this under this moniker for a while. Yeah, but there's one there that I haven't actually listened to yet. Quite simple, breezy, easy to listen to, but quite good in this playlist. Blade Runner 2049, I find a lot of the music's kind of scary, but every now and again you'll get a kind of atmospheric or thoughtful piece. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I want to feel an emotion that will get my creative side thinking, get my mind going down different places depending on what mood I'm in. And it's such a big playlist, you can just skip around and get all sorts of different tones. Like, yeah, this Last of Us score, painfully beautiful, like the guitar that Gustavo does. He's an incredible musician. I really need to go through more of his stuff, which I know is good because I've heard his scores and stuff he's made for other projects that could definitely fit in here, I'm sure, but I just haven't thought to go through it, so I'm making this video right now. A bit more of a deep cuts kind of stuff I hear. The David Wingo, another composer that I kind of fell for with this indie film, Take Shelter. A sad film, also a bit more on the intense side with the sounds, but also very contemplative and foreboding. On the other end of that spectrum, Gareth Cocker with the excellent Ori and the Blind Forest music. I think I've got both games in here somewhere. I've got lots of them because a lot of the background music in the game is complimentary of these water levels and these forests and woodlands, quite cheery and bubbly. I've listened to that to absolute death. I've gone deep, I guess, with his stuff, with even plucking, I guess he did the score for the Greek mythology pack for Minecraft, something I haven't even played, but the music is cool. Journey has a great score. Again, a couple of the tracks when they come on are a bit too intense for the idea behind the playlist, but I still got to filter through that at some point. I'm going to have to hear what this is. Oh yeah, I love this one. Sorry, I wish I could share it with you, but I can't. I'll just get claimed. I don't even know how I found this. No story there, but it's great. Chill. See, I don't know how to, like, there's so many weird names, and is it Nujabes? Nujabes? I don't know. I think I've got a few of the stuff in here. Lots of chill beats to relax to, I'm afraid. Yeah, here's a couple of C418's non-Minecraft stuff, which is equally as good. Thomas Newman making his first appearance. This might seem random. The Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events end credit music, but it goes hard. It's an amazing piece of music. Maybe a bit too distracting for work, but that depends on your ear. Right, of course, we've got to get to Martin O'Donnell, Michael Salvatori. Hill of Three's soundtrack. Kind of avoiding a lot of the obvious bombastic tracks. There'll be a little bit of scary here and there, but it's mostly the kind of travel music, the atmospheric stuff from the series, the cream of the crop as far as video game soundtracks are concerned. And of course, following on from that, you got ODST in there, a bit more kind of jazzy vibes, kind of music that is nice paired with rainymood.com. I think there are even YouTube uploads of it where people have added rain in for even more atmosphere. I've always loved the Destiny music. I think the original soundtrack probably has the best music from it. It sounds big, it's varied, all sorts of different feelings and tones to it. Absolutely love it, even with my complicated feelings towards the game and franchise. Despite how Marty O'Donnell feels about the anniversary take on the soundtrack, there are some good reinterpretations of the tracks from that game for the anniversary version. I think it's the Prophet Suite I particularly like. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, gotta have some Mass Effect 2 in there. New Worlds has got to be one of the best. kind of inspiring, just evokes the feeling of endless exploration and space, both New Worlds and a couple of the tracks from the original game too, and they're continuing with the couple more Halo ones from the Combat Evolved Anniversary version of the soundtrack. More C418, a random track from that film Searching, which was all kind of like this video. It was all like OBS footage on a computer. This was a really short, it's only 49 seconds, but a good one. The first Desplat inclusion are the end titles from Isle of Dogs. There should be a few Alexander Desplat songs in here. Really unique voice with the types of instruments that he uses and these weird little melodies. Usually quite a playful sound, but does work, as I can see here, like in something a bit darker, like the Sisters Brothers. Remind me how this goes. Yeah, really good piano. I missed this one. DJ Shadow. I don't even know what this is. Yeah, that might be a bit too much. I don't know. Every now and again there's one where I'm like, maybe this doesn't belong in here, but I don't have the heart to take it out right now. Lindstrom, that rings a bell. Yeah. I just don't even know where I found that, or this one. Well, it's a bit intense. But sometimes it's just after that feeling, you know? Let me feel something. This is quite jazzy. Well, it's called jazz. Lots of this kind of Japanese jazz stuff. I think a lot of that was recommended by James. Yeah. There's going to be some corny stuff in here, I'm not going to lie. But I like it. Who cares? SMD. Hotel pools, that's like... I guess if I have to have nostalgia for anything, it's the fuck's it called? Like Chillwave, cringy, Simpsons. Like, what the fuck's it called? I'm like, right, yeah, it was right at the end of my tongue, like Vaporwave. I know some people find it cringy, but I kind of dig it. It's perfect for this kind of stuff. This is quite a nice one by Kid Koala. I'm not going to have deep stories for all of these, so this video is literally going to go on forever. Celeste, I really like the music in that game. The only one I was really finding appropriate for this soundtrack is Resurrections. Quite a long one, but it really takes you on a journey of highs and lows. Some couple repetitions here. Who's this? Opus. Yeah, just some random chill instrumentals in here. A little bit sad, this one. On to Daniel Pemberton. There's probably more from the Spider-Verse movies. This one, some people find this song scary, actually. I like it. Kind of gets me in that thinking mood. Couple Red Dead songs here. Gets you thinking about the wilderness, gets you in that mindset. Makes you sad and depressed. Oh. I guess this is unfortunate. This has been taken out. I remember liking this. I like Washed Out and I like Toro Imoy. I guess I can't remember how that sounds. More hotel pools, chill, wave, vapor shit. Really random pull here. Snow mine. How does that even go? Yeah, just a kind of chill instrumental. One off the No Man's Sky soundtrack. There might be more later. That's a good one. 65 Days of Static have some good stuff. Teleport music. It's quite a popular song, I think. I think this has vocals too. But they're like airy and not very intrusive. Gary Newman. This has one of the weirdest album covers ever. Oh, I've never seen it moving like that. A great piece of music is a cover, but I like this version of it. I've been listening to him a bit more lately, actually. Another random pull for Halo Wars soundtrack by this dude, Stephen Rippey. It's an RTS, so you can imagine there's a lot of unintrusive, chill music in there. Joby's good. I think that's like Japanese. Is it Japanese? I'll just be putting that on him. That's not helping me. He's not Japanese. He's from New York, but the lo-fi jazz stuff, yeah. Caribou has some good chill stuff. I heard this fucking song on an advert the other day. That's not when I added it. I actually listened to this when it came out. I really associate it with being in lockdown in 2020. And I think it has lyrics. Man, some of the old Assassin's Creed games had some wildly atmospheric, expressive stuff. Jasper Kidd knocked it out of the park with some of these. Even if some of my feelings on the actual game design has soured, the music's really great. Some more Destiny stuff. I've talked to death about the music in those games. It's Even Destiny 2 Vanilla has some great stuff in it. Random one from Halo Legends there. Some more Ori, the sequel. This one's funny. Cliff Martinez' Contagion soundtrack is weirdly good, despite how kind of creepy and scary that movie is. Some great music in there. Cliff Martinez is very talented. Yeah, continuing on with it. I Drive from Drive. Got some Miyazaki film music in here. Bit more kind of classical sounding, big orchestra stuff. Another random one. These from Far Cry 4. I find like video games that have lots of exploring or going across like a jungle or a forest or a woodland tend to have quite good instrumentals in them to complement that kind of feeling of exploration. What's this? Wax by Flanders. Yeah, just kind of like chill wave stuff. A random, I assume, instrumental off the Division bell. Yeah, there might be a couple Pink Floyd in here actually. Oh, okay. Always high. I don't even know what this is. Okay, it's got a little bit of... I mean, that's cool. That's fine. It seems like it belongs in here. A few Mr. Kafer tracks. That kind of makes exactly what I'm looking for what this playlist is going for. Some more home stuff when that was released, I guess. Alone Time with Purple Cat. Yeah, just chill. What's this one? Oh, yeah. Just more chill stuff. A couple from the Suspiria soundtrack, another scary horror movie, except I find these to be quite thoughtful, weird, trippy tones. Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, this one, The Jumps, what a thick atmosphere. It's so simple but so powerful. Just one track from Fight Club. It can be quite an intense soundtrack, so they've just got this one. More Mr. K for 3 random tracks by Ludwig, another talented composer. It's from The Mandalorian, it looks like. I thought this was a cool soundtrack for Mank. A film I don't really care about that film very much. The more time that passes, it seemed like a passion project for Fincher. But I really like the range it showed from Reznor, Menascus, Ross. It sounds all old-timey. A couple more Star Wars ones here from Jedi Fallen Order. Might seem random, but there's some... I like the big Williams-sounding stuff. I don't think I have any other of the actual Star Wars movies. It's just something about the way they compose this stuff for video games. Tends to just complement what I'm looking for. Some more Mr. Robot. That took ages to go through all the music in those shows to look for suitable songs that weren't too much. Mac DeMarco has lots of good instrumentals. I'll get back to that. I mentioned Toro Imoi. Over the last few years, he's been releasing instrumental versions of some of his albums, and they're just perfect for this. More Hoto Pools. The end credits music from The Wire. I think that's a great piece of music. Tom Mitch. I'm pretty sure this is an instrumental. Yeah, maybe a bit much, but yep, some train spotting stuff. Destiny, a peaceful track from Hades, the game. Oh, cool, I do have some Lee Scratch Perry in here. That's reggae. Could probably do with a bit more reggae in here, actually. That's a good one. King Tubby's a funny name. More Hotel Pools. Who's Flo Fills? Yeah, just like Chillwave. More Disaster Beast. MFD, and we'll get back to him later. I don't even care about Oasis, but there's some stuff on this. I quite like this album from memory. I don't know if this one actually has lyrics. But I don't know, something about it just felt like it belonged in here. This is another random deep cut. Brian Altano made this album, Misanthrope. He's pretty cool. I think he works at IGN still. Yeah, random one. He did like a remix of the Eva soundtrack too. So consider that more of a deep cut. Chris Joss has some really good instrumentals. I think I found him through... I think his music was used in... Yeah, Better Call Saul. I got one from Risk of Rain. More Doom. I will settle on Doom in a minute. What's this one? Terminus. Marconi Union. That's that meditative stuff I mentioned earlier. God damn, this is getting long, but I'm determined to go through all of this. I guess I'm just going to stop if there's nothing that comes to mind, I'm just not gonna comment on it, because yeah, some more of the Japanese or Korean stuff here. This is a great track. Random, I think that's the end credits song for Game of Thrones. For some reason, end credits seem to have good chill music, because I guess it's designed for when you're like leaving or winding down once the story is over, which works quite well. More Hotel Balls. Yeah, okay, this is... These ones from Lightning Returns is funny. That was the third Final Fantasy 13 sequel. I was one of the 3 people that played this, but it had a banging soundtrack, man. It was really good. All 3 of those games had really good music. Final Fantasy 13 probably with the best, though, out of that trilogy. Yeah, it's got some amazing atmospheric stuff. Even the game over screen. Game design all over the place, but no one can deny how good the music is in there. Okay, got more Mac DeMarco stuff here. Not quite at his mega one, but I really like his instrumentals. He's got here it is. Yeah. This this album buffs up this playlist by an obscene amount. Like, let's see how long. I pressed the wrong thing. Wayne G. Yeah, look, it's 9 hours, 30 minutes long. So 9 of those, I put every one of those songs in here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that beefs it up considerably, but I like all of it. It's just kind of perfect. There are a couple scary or random ones that I skip sometimes, but I just haven't been asked to go through, or sometimes I remove them when they come on in a shuffle, but seeing as the playlist is so big, it doesn't really tend to dominate as much as you might think. Some more Brian Eno, some more random Chillwave, some Nin Ghosts stuff, more Nin. Ghosts, I guess, is kind of like that Mac album where there's just loads of great instrumentals, super atmospheric. Jedi Survivor, a couple tracks from there. There's one from Across the Spider-Verse. The spot chase scene has some great, was that bongos? Yeah. Apex Twin. Have to have that in there. I think it's this one, number 3 might be, I think it might be one of the best instrumental pieces of music ever made. It might be like a normie take, but I don't care. Really just, it's like sad and hopeful at the same time. Absolutely love that song. And there's loads of good stuff. But what is it about ambient stuff and having just randomly the scariest thing you've ever heard, or like the weirdest thing? Aphex Twin is good for that. There's actually a whole Mass Effect 2 atmospheric score that's like just buried on Spotify that I came across in, I guess, 2023. Those are great. I think Facial Reconstruction's the best one. Yeah, so when you're making your character. More Aphex. He's like perfect for what I'm going for here. Mass Effect Trilogy stuff. Another Desplat track from Asteroid City. More Aphex. Cassiopeia has some great stuff. It's kind of a slightly different vibe. But chill. Bit jazzier. Mick Gordon, that Prey song is incredible. Makoto, again, more like the Cassiopeia type vibe. Got some Tangerine Dream. OGs. Note though that they also do the thing of just having loads of scary tracks for no reason. So some of those, especially those longer ones, will just have like 5 minutes of the scariest thing you've ever heard that will need skipping, but I don't have the heart to take them out. Yeah, I've got loads of Tangerine Dream in here. Heaps, actually. I guess I just added everything. Got Burial in here. Sometimes that stuff can be a bit too intense for what I'm going for in this playlist, but that's a good one. More Aphex, Oppenheimer, music. This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie had some weirdly good tracks by Trent, obviously. I'm such a fanboy. These are really chill. Hiroshi Yoshimura. More of a deep cut. More Disaster Piece. You can see these kind of names that recur when they release something that's good from Marcel the Shell with shoes on, a sad little movie, very cute. Another one from Bodies. I think this is some more vaporwave stuff with Glue 70. Yeah, there's more 65 Days of Static here. More Oppenheimer, a couple Daniel Pemberton. More Spider-Verse. Mr. Kafer again. Yeah. Lots of chill stuff there. How to Get Away with Sake. I assume they're Japanese? Oh, that doesn't really help. I don't know, so many people are going for that Japanese aesthetic. It's hard to know when it's legit or just inspired. This is quite a chill instrumental version of this Pale J album. Oh, these are cool. Where's he from? Yeah, that makes sense. Scandinavian fella. These are great. They're a bit more... No, they're like synth. Yeah. One of my weaknesses. More Mac DeMarco. Got a little jungle in there. Oh, Woody Jackson released this. He did the Red Dead music. Just on his own. Nothing to do with Red Dead, just released this album in 2020, which is a really great instrumental album to have it in the background there. What's this? I don't even know how, like, some of these I even found, but they're in there. I love this one, Retire Final. Quite sad. I think I found that from someone putting it into, like, a video of, like, Batman from Arkham Knight just, like, stood on a building. I was like, oh, what's that song they've used to add this mood to this, because it's crazy. Instrumental Toru Imoi stuff. This is a funny one. Mangalam. I was in Wales and with my uncle and my mum for a funeral, and we went to get an Indian for dinner, and this song was playing in the background, and I just thought it was a banger and added it in. I want as much varied stuff like this as possible. Got Pop Gang in here. Shout out to this is my uncle's band. This is a good samples David Bowie, I think. Yeah, a good mostly instrumental track here. Got Challenges. Who else? We're winding down now. A bit more Woody Jackson. Oh yeah, shout out to Mars Express. There are a couple of great. This is exactly what I'm looking for. This one, Noctis. Pure, thick atmosphere. Give me more. And Last Man as well from the show directed by the same director as Mars Express, Jeremy. Oh yeah, Make Love by Daft Punk. Bit quieter than some of the stuff you'd imagine from them, but dig it. Soft. Then yeah, when I discovered this instrumental MF Doom, that's like perfect. Amazing producer, just an amazing album. I think you can just put this on if you're like having a gathering. You don't want something that's too intrusive. It just like gives a bit of a vibe. Yeah, great stuff. The Apprentice had a couple of good songs in it that I really liked. Treasure Planet, Now You're Going For My Heart. Those are just little treats for when the shuffle just plucks one of them from the 1,600 that are in here or whatever. Some didgeridoo. Got to get that in there. Oh yeah, when the Blackberry score, the biopic about the dude who got Blackberry off the ground, the Matt Johnson movie, Jay McCarroll composed a really great complimentary score. It's great to listen to too. Shout out to, he came on Sardonicast actually. I'd recommend listening to that episode. Gave me a nice little moment to fanboy over his music. A little bit more Gustavo. Some more Chillwave stuff. Oh. Okay. Guns and Smoke, instrumental version. Oh yeah, gotta have the Brutalist score in there. One of the best parts about the movie. Stevie Wonder. I only discovered this album, I think early this year, and it's just been in my rotation since, and I think this is an instrumental track. Yeah, that's some good shit right there. Yeah, good 70s stuff. A few Helldivers. You can kind of line up when I discovered these of when I was watching something, like when I saw Lost Highway, discovered this Trent Reznor song, a few songs from Severance, a couple of Smiths songs in here, a King Gizzard, sneaking in right towards the end, Prison Break, let's go. Composed actually by the Game of Thrones dude, I'm pretty sure. Double check, yep. So shout out to Prison Break. Anything else? Some Massive Attack, another King Gizzard. Oh yeah, another person I've been into lately is Charles Bradley. He I'd heard a bunch of his songs from different sources, but hadn't put it together that it was the same dude. Did the intro to Big Mouth. Well, the song existed before it was plucked for that show, I'm pretty sure. But great album. Love when they do an instrumental version. It's just way less intrusive. More Doom instrumentals. More Toro y Moi instrumentals. And now we actually made it to the end. One here from Claire Obscure. Absolutely love that song. And the recent At the Heart of It All from Further Down the Spiral, I didn't realize was produced by Aphex Twin. And you can really tell once you listen. Nice little find. And I don't even know what these are. I guess they're just recent finds. 3 days ago I added that one. Don't even know. So man, that took way longer than I was expecting. Even though I should have anticipated that with there being over 1,500 songs. So let me know if you have any suggestions that I'm missing from this, if you've made it this far. Any good picks, any bad picks. Let me know if there's anything egregious that's missing or included. I'll see you next time. Bye.